A very good evening to you. Welcome to the Wednesday edition of Uctv News. I am Sunday Gloria Aboch. Now, Christians have been advised to remember the three pillars of prayer, fasting and alms giving as the 40 days Lenten period begin today. Many Christians from the Catholics, Anglican and the Orthodox this morning woke up to attend morning prayers that involved the smearing of ash on their foreheads as a sign of the start of Lent season as usually practiced on Ash Wednesday. It is from here at the Catholic Secretariat that members of staff during Mass, led by Father John Baptist Kaganda, were reminded that this period is a time of renewal from sin and preparing ourselves for the suffering, death, and resurrection of Jesus Christ.
As we begin this season of Lent, it is a time of renewal, preparing ourselves once again to celebrate those great mysteries in our faith. And what are they? That is the suffering, death, and then resurrection of our Lord Jesus Christ. Dear friends, yes, as we begin this season of Lent, remember those three pillars of this season. That is prayer, almsgiving, and then fasting. Those are the great pillars. Friend, make sure that you live these great pillars. And it is not a show-off as we live these great pillars. The gospel has shown us. It is not a show-off. Indeed, the gospel has told us that if it is prayer, if it is almsgiving to the needy or the poor, if it is abstinence, you can add on what you have resolved to do. I believe as you begin this season of Lent, you have made a resolution. Or if you have not yet done so, please do so. How are you going to live this season of Lent? Prepare. Don't simply say, well, I will live the day just as it comes. No, we need to prepare. What resolution have you made in order to live well this season of Lent? Prepare, dear brother, but it is not a show-off. Allow me that I propose some areas that we can look into during this season of Lent. For instance, what if I fast from anger and hatred? Could it be a good way of fasting during this season? In other words, I should give an extra dose of love. That is what is expected of me. Get rid of bitterness. Get rid of rage. Get rid of anger. Get rid of malice. These are some of the vices that have eaten us up. As we begin this season of Lent, can't I make a resolution and say, during this season, I will give an extra dose of love? What if I live this season of Lent by fasting from judging others? Very often we are fond of judging others. But before we judge others, and by the way, when it comes to judging others, we judge them harshly, forgetting that we ourselves have got our own faults, which our Lord overlooks. Now, during this season of Lent, can't I fast from judging others? Show that love. Control my tongue. Give up gossiping. Couldn't these be some of the areas I should look into? Give up gossiping. Do not tell lies. I believe this could be a good way of living this season of Lent. Yes, can't I fast from discouragements? Very often we are discouraged by so many things. But remember, you were born to succeed, not to fail. Start this season of Lent with that determination that I cannot fail. I was born to succeed. I was not born to fail. Couldn't this be a good way of living this season of Lent? with that determination that I'm ready to do my best because I was born to succeed. Dear friend, can't you fast? Can't I fast from complaining? Very often we complain what is missing. Yes, can't I fast from complaining so that I see the good things that are around me? Because once I start complaining, then I will overlook there's so many graces around me. Now, can't I fast from complaining, dear brother, dear sister? How about resentment and bitterness? At times we have that resentment. At times we have that bitterness at heart. Let us work towards forgiveness of one another.
And as the country prepares to commemorate the martyrdom of Archbishop Janan Luwum this Friday, Uganda People's Congress Party has appealed to politicians, religious leaders and citizens to emulate Luwum for a better transformation of Uganda, as Joseph Kabale reports.
Saint Janan Luwum is one of the most recognized martyrs of the 20th century, who was murdered by the regime of Ugandan President Idi Amin on February 16th of 1997. Addressing the media at the UPC party headquarters in Kampala today, the party head of media and communications, Faizo Mzei, noted that Luwum's leadership focused not only on preaching and spreading the gospel, but also on the holistic development of people and communities by repeatedly appealing to Ugandans to live peacefully together and in harmony. It is against this background that Mzei called upon the citizenry to fully emulate his character in its true essence.
UPC calls upon the citizenry to emulate his character that stood for a bigger picture of humanity and practiced liberation theology in the true sense of it. As we pay tribute and honor to the person sacrifice of the Archbishop Janan Luwum made for the better future, UPC urges government and all stakeholders fully appreciate that the most important asset which Uganda has is its people, whose basic needs like food, shelter, medication, education, and security, among others, deserve to be given a great priority.
Mzei added that during Luwum's leadership, he offered himself as a sacrifice and always stood firm against the state's excesses, including abductions, torture, in addition to preaching against human rights violations by the National Army.
The party appreciates both the living and spiritual sacrifice that defined Archbishop Janan Luwum in all of his life and works. He sacrificed himself and stood firm against undemocratic excesses, including abductions, torture, and death of people, as well as preaching against human rights abuses by the army and security organs, and making physical follow-ups to various detention centers across the country, which centers used to be no-go areas to members of the public. However, the late Archbishop did that in the name of humanity and human rights.
Mzei concluded by inviting the party members who are interested in vying for the Dokolo district by-election to commit themselves formally to the party secretariat.
We are going to field candidates for the district, woman member of parliament, local government councils, and special interest groups in Dokolo district. At the moment, the party national leadership is working hand in hand with the local party leadership to organize the Dokolo District Conference that will produce the UPC flag bearers for all vacant elective positions as declared by the Independent Electoral Commission.
The Forum for Democratic Change Party has endorsed Dr. Rosemary Alwoch Ogwal, daughter to the late Cecilia Ogwal, for the forthcoming Member of Parliament for Dokolo District by elections as their party's candidate. While addressing the media at Najanankumbi party headquarters, while addressing the media at the party headquarters in Najanankumbi, the party president, Patrick Oboy Amuriat, asserted that by voting Dr. Rosemary Alwoch Ogwal for the seat. It will be the only way to reciprocate the good contributions made by the former MP Cecilia Atim Ogwal. Joseph Kabale reports.
On 18th of January 2024, Barbara Atim Cecily Ogwal, who was the elected woman member of parliament for Dokol district, was announced dead in India after a short illness. As of the constitution, 60 days are given to the Electoral Commission to organize a by-election. While addressing the media at the party headquarters in Najanankumbi, the FDC party president Patrick Oboy Amriat said that the late Cecily Ogwal was a competent leader and the only way to honor her contribution is by electing Rosemary as her successor.
I want to make a clarion call to the people of Lango, and particularly the people of Dokolo, to find in Dr. Rosemary Alwoch a perfect replacement for that Cecilia Barbara Atim Ogwal. That we come into this by-election with a candidate of quality and not a gambler. Somebody who has had to give up her comfort to come into the murky waters of politics in order to cause a conclusion of the programs that Imat Cecilia Ogwal was so much passionate about. I would like to call on the leadership of the NRM to ensure a level playing ground for all candidates.
After being given the party constitution, the strategic plan and the FDC flag, Dr. Rosemary Arok assured the people of Dokol that she has all it takes to fulfill her mom's dreams, such as infrastructures and education.
It was there. My mother always said it was Doholo that was the cradle of the democracy we have in Uganda today. So that is very key. That is very key. When you hear Doholo, most people don't think about the other Doholos around Uganda. You think about Doholo in Launkusha. Edo. Everybody knows where Doholo in Lao is because of my mother's representations nationally and internationally. And on that note, I will say FDC, oh yeah! And we'll continue to work across the board with everybody without discrimination.
And now political activists Sam Lubega Mukaku and the FDC founding president Dr. Kiza Besigye appeared before Grade 1 Magistrate Winnie Nacha Jatiko at Buganda Road Court today. They are accused of inciting violence in the public when they organized the protest against corruption, theft and secession in downtown Kampala. Lord Mayor of Kampala, Arias Lukwago, the defense attorney, cross-examined 2 of the 4 state witnesses that the prosecution called, including police officers. This case has been adjourned to the 15th of March 2024.
We get it, we come together, we attack, we save ourselves.
We got it, who?
Exactly.
I wanted to get to know how you understood it so that it goes on record of court.
Government agents, in my opinion, government agents.
Are they the ones committing the murder? Who's the property of which government?
The civil business people. Down there, commercial, we have the civil businesses.
So you can't tell any particular individual who would be affected.
Absolutely not.
The effect that Turumbe let us attack, wouldn't you understand that it meant to attack those who are plundering?
You say the downtown members of the public?
Oh, it was meant
to incite members of the public downtown? You don't know who they were now going to attack.
Oh, you don't know who you are going to attack?
Yes, it was.
But
the DPC called me saying the accused persons had been using the megaphones.
so that was information from the DPC.
Yes. And
Did you see any of the two holding it?
From the pictures and the video that was recorded by the scene of crime officer.
I'm talking about you with your own eyes, naked eyes.
No, I did not.
Coming traffic from Namirele was blocked. This one, any coming from the side of Boom Street, traffic lights was also blocked, including this one's tax park, new tax park, and the city house. So that confusion was there. There was total mess, total chaos. Obviously, borders with too many putting left and right, hundreds and hundreds.
Who was the overall commander of that operation at that time? Because you were three AIP, the ASP, and the sergeant. Who was commanding who?
For the first commander, first response. The ASP was the commander. First response.
ASP who? What's his name? Or her name?
Madam ASP was the main commander.
Reduce prices and cut taxes on fuel and essential goods. Put more money, drugs, and doctors in our hospitals. Put more money in the education sector. Put more money in the agriculture sector.
What's wrong with that?
Again, how
What is bringing about that?
that they're calling the mobilization.
The call is
Rise
to
up
do
and-
that. The call is to do that. What's wrong with that? Is that a crime?
No, the government works in the different ways. The president works from downtown, the people should act and rise ministers and maybe procedures council.
So the call to rise up was to do what?
Was to incite members of the
To
public.
incite members of the public to do what? At that time when we say fellow countrymen and women, did he say so in Uganda? Did he say so in Uchika, in Swahili? Which language?
And he was listening with
No, Mr. Ruka, we are talking about, if you can recall very well the statement he made as you translate it in English, 2 years down the road, almost, because we are talking about events of 14th June 2022. This is 2024. Can't you say exactly what he said in Uganda?
So I think he has explained his position. He might hear the language, but he cannot repeat it. It's not
Questions they made. Waving with smiles. Huh? Because we want to see the mood of the public.
they were waiting and cheering seriously on top of their voices. They were cheering.
And you want to convince God that with that small megaphone, everybody, all those crowds in that distance were here. You want God to believe that?
And now, as one of the ways of promoting sanitation and hygiene in rural areas, the International Rainwater Harvesting Alliance through Caritas Kasese has today finished the construction of an 8,000-litre rainwater harvest tank at Kitabu Catholic Parish found in the Diocese of Kasese. While speaking at the opening of the construction, Sister Han Heinen, the president of the International Rainwater Harvesting Alliance based in Geneva, said it is very important to have water harvesting tanks, not only to collect water but to store it too.
Visiting Uganda at the moment to see how the work that we are supporting at Caritas Kasese in rainwater harvesting is progressing. So behind me you see a rainwater tank, a rainwater system starting to be constructed. And for a rainwater system, of course, you do not only have to collect the rain, you also have to store it. So that is an important aspect. For rainwater harvesting, you require to have a collection system, that means to say gutters, but you also need to have a storage tank. The storage tank, of course, is always an expensive part, because relatively spoken, whether you bring a plastic tank or whether you make a ferrocement tank, you have to spend some money on constructing it. That is what you see here in the back. In Kasese, together with Caritas Kasese, we have been working for the last few years, since 2022, on constructing rainwater tanks using calabash model, and this particular model is called pumpkin model. Basically, they're the same type of structures where we're using rounded tanks such that they can absorb the forces very well and can carry a lot of water, can store a lot of water. This particular one is 8,000 liters. The storage tanks that are made for according to the calabash principle are 5,000 liters. Can people do it themselves? Yes, this is what we're doing here. A number of masons from Caritas are being trained on how to do it and actually go to the village and together with the local people construct these systems. In 2022 and partially 2023, we have constructed around 26 of these tanks in schools and public utilities. And this particular tank that you see in the background was a consequence of a training that one of my colleagues at Caritas took in Sri Lanka, where he learned about this particular tank last year in May, and we said, why not, let us try and also trial that out in Uganda, because this tank is slightly larger, slightly cheaper than the 5,000 liters calabash tank, but it depends a little bit on how you want to do it. Now, why is this important in Uganda? In Uganda it's very important because Uganda has regular rainfall, bimodal, that means to say we have basically 2 periods in which the rain falls, and so it means you can make good use of rain if you have the storage. If you do not have storage, of course all the water is flowing down the river and you have it's lost. Now, this is also something that has come to the Parliament, because very recently in October.
Now, with Han Heinen, the president of the International Rainwater Harvesting Alliance, together with the Clean Water Healthy Villages, an NGO in the Netherlands, and partners from Scotland, from Ireland, Tommy O'Brien and his family, we started the journey 2021 of trying to contribute to educational outcomes in schools. By this I'm saying that children will be happy at school when services are okay, and one of the key services at schools is availability of clean water for drinking and for sanitation and hygiene. So we are happy to mention that these gentlemen have really supported us in ensuring that we contribute to SDG number 6. It has been a long journey. You imagine we are working with these gentlemen, but they are supporting us from their pockets. It is not a project as such, but when they raise a coin, it's when we are able to bring a service of a rainwater harvesting tank. So as Caritas Kasese, we are promoting rainwater harvesting using ferro cement systems. Like he has just said, we are saying the cost of this tank is far below compared to the other existing systems, the PVC, and knowing that the PVC is not going to last for long, this is going to take us 40-50 years. So as vulnerable households, we are encouraging the use of rainwater harvesting using these tanks, because this is something 3 or 4 or 5 households can contribute to, and they put it up, and their situation is improved.
We appreciate the service he has brought to our people, and most especially in our district. As one of the staff from the district, this is a great achievement to have increased the water source or water point by bringing water nearer to the people who are in a water scarcity zone. Kitabu Parish is facing a lot of water scarcity, and as an institution whereby Caritas has a vision of supporting institutions like churches, schools, and all those that can ably sustain the rainwater harvesting projects. The tank has been installed at the parish house headquarters for security purposes.
Thank you for watching the Uganda Catholic Television. Let's take a look at today in history. You are watching UCTV News that takes a break and will be back shortly.
UCTV, good news for all.
Catch incredible stories of resilience, success.
You can manage dirty money
with a topping of inspiration.
Get interested in people, not interested in yourself.
Inspire, achieve, repeat.
You are watching UCTV, good news for all. For this and more, tune into Kasese Get Radio 100.5 in Western Region, located at the hill of the Diocese of Kasese. KGR brings you all Catholic programs and an advertising platform in all our radio shows like Good Morning Renzori, Chama Toboka, Ukute, the business show, Propeller, the request show and sports, Evaluation, Bahinga Bakuluka, Late Night Show, and many others. Our other services include Isuzu Tipa, a no car, public address system, live band, Omokekera, an audio recording studio, and outside live broadcast. For more information, call 0773 597 166 or visit our website www.kasesegatradio.com. Kasese Radio, Omusondoria, the voice of truth.
It's unbelievable. Now, companies, businesses, and organizations can make bulk payments easily with Centenary Bank's corporate center SWIFT to anyone without the need of a bank account, anywhere, anytime, just like that. The recipient needs only their phones, national ID, and token number received via SMS to withdraw money from any center agent nearby. The Centenary Bank's corporate center SWIFT is simple, secure, and convenient. You think it's too good to be true? Visit any of our branches countrywide or visit www.centenarybank.co.ug to know more. Centenary Bank. Centenary Bank is a member center group regulated by the Bank of Uganda. Customer deposits of up to 10 million shillings are protected by the Deposit Protection Fund of Uganda. Terms and conditions apply.
UCTV, good news for all.
Thank you so much for being a part of the newscast. I'm Sunday Gloria Aboch, wishing you a very good night. Let us try to be good this Lenten season as we follow or be guided by the three pillars that include fasting, almsgiving, and prayer. For the hands that gives are blessed than the ones that taketh. Good night.